So, dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. Do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So bring your attention to your body, please. Observe head to toes yourself and say Sopateva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, we're going to relax our body step by step. Following my words mentally, relax your body, please. Relax your head. Relax your forehead. Relax your eyebrows. Relax your eyes. Relax your ears. Relax your nose. Relax your upper lip. Relax your lower lip. Relax your chin. Relax your whole face muscles. Relax your teeth. Relax your tongue. Relax your mouth. Relax your throat. Relax your neck. Relax your shoulders, arms, elbow, forearms, palms, fingers, fingertips. Relax your back muscles and relax your spine. Relax your chest and relax your abdominal muscles. Relax your lungs. Relax your heart. Relax your liver. Relax your kidneys. Relax your gallbladder. Relax your pancreas. Relax your small intestine. Relax your large intestine. Relax your all abdominal organs. Relax your buttock. Relax your thigh. Relax your knee. Relax your calf muscles. Relax your foot and relax your toes. Relax your whole body muscles, tendons, ligaments, bone marrows, and whole skeleton. Release the tension in your mind and keep relax your face muscles. So bring your attention to your whole body and observe head to toes and see is there any strong, heavy sensation or feeling, heat, tightness. Just get a mental note if you find any sensation. Just recognize, don't interfere with it. If you see many places, just find one place, wherever, and settle down there. If that sensation change or disappear, just find another place. And see the very behavior and the very nature of the sensation. There's no any concrete, solid feelings or the sensation going to be in you. It's always change. Bring your attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area. Deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. So now allow your inhalation, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens, through the sensation of it, recognize this is inhalation or this is exhalation. Do nothing extra. If your mind go here and there, bring it back again and again. Keep focus to the sensation of the inhalation, exhalation. Just be very limited only to the sensation of the inhalation, exhalation, and follow the entire continuation of the inhalation or exhalations, knowingly. This is the beginning, this is the middle, this is the end of the inhalations or exhalations. Sometimes inhalation or exhalation may become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. Don't try to change anything. Don't interfere with its natural process. If you see any change, just recognize, let it be. See how calming down your body inhalation happens. Calming down your body exhalations happens. Calming down your mind, inhalation, exhalation happens. Calming down your breathing, inhalation, exhalation happen itself. There is no somebody doing anything. All this body, mind, breathing happens itself. See the change happening moment by moment, whatever the sensation or the perception you perceive, arising, existing, vanishing itself. perception and the perceiver both change at the same time. Object and the observer both change at the same time. If this material world change moment by moment, out of that material world with the four elements, whatever the perception come to you, that also change. And out of that perception, the feelings arise, and that feelings change. Out of that feelings, the awareness, the consciousness arise, that also change. The changing circle itself bring your recognition. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Being Suva, Prelo strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. To your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, today is the Poson full moon day, And it is a very special full moon day for Sri Lanka and all the Buddhist people around the world, because it's almost kind of like 2000 years ago, the Sri Lanka received the Buddhism from India, like this full moon day. And during that time, King Asoka was the ruler in India. So then he sent the Buddhism in his own son, Venerable Mahinda. And from that day, in Sri Lanka developed this Buddhism, and it became a very organized religion in Sri Lanka, and whole country start to accept the teachings of the Buddha from that day to today, during this 2000 years. And through many up and downs, still that the monks and the lay people able to protect the teachings. And when it comes to the Sri Lanka, it is the most important part of the country is about the Dhamma, because it is very famous for the tea or the gem or the beaches, forest. But still, out of that all, the Dhamma is the most important part. And the monks and the lay people sacrificed their life and protected these teachings for you and for this entire human civilization, for this next future generations. Why? As you know, this now you are enough mature to understand the value of the Dharma, because once this disappears, it is very difficult to find it back. So that's why they knew the value of this. And the important thing is they able to protect the Buddha's authentic teachings without allowing to mix it with the ordinary ideas. So then that's why that the Buddha's all the sutra preserved in Sri Lanka as Tripitaka. And all over the world, when it comes to the Tripitaka, they always go to this Sri Lankan translate, because that is very authentic, and at the same time, the monks and the lay people respected it and very devoted to that, and they protected. And now it is your time yourself. Learn this and practice it and understand it. Because out of this all, understanding the Dharma is the main purpose. Not maintaining, not protecting. It is very necessary to protect it, but at the same time, you have to understand it, you have to practice it, you have to gain the best out of it. So that's how you can again contribute to that. Otherwise, if you don't understand, and if you miss your opportunity, and by the time next generation will lose their opportunity, so like that, within another few hundred years, this will disappear. Why? Because if you don't practice it, what's the point? That what is the meaning of Dharma? If you don't gain the best out of this. So then that's why it's always very important to to know the Dharma and to practice it and gain the best out of it. Because this journey was not easy. In the beginning, it was oral practice. The monks used to remember it themselves. There were no any record. All oral practice. Memorize themselves and chanting. That's how this chanting came to the society. Because they have to keep chanting, otherwise, sometimes you may forget. So, but if you chanting, then it became kind of like a ceremony. And not only then, it became kind of like a part of blessing ceremonies. So then it's interfere, and by the time it became a cultural part. And not only that, during these 2000 years, it had went through many difficult time periods. And there was the long period of drought in Sri Lanka, more than 7 years. And that time, a lot of monks died. And some monks escaped to other countries. So that time they decided to put it to palm tree leaves. And that's how it started recorded. And not only that, as you know, and Sri Lanka was a colony for more than 200 years. And during that time period, a lot of Dhamma destroyed. But still, there were some monks and the lay people sacrificed their life and protected it. But somehow today, we have opportunity to share that Dharma practice ourselves, learn yourself, and more than any other time, you have more opportunities. So then you have to remember you are so lucky to receive this. You are so blessed to receive this. And at the same time, you have to remember out of that blessing, you have to multiply that blessing rather than allowing it to vanish itself, shining and vanished. No, you have to multiply it. How you can multiply? Gaining the best out of this. So that's how you can allow it to move forward. That's how you can contribute to the Buddha's dispensation. It is worth for you and it is worth for entire humanity. So then when it comes to the Dharma, practicing meditation is one major part of it. There are 4 parts when it comes to the practicing Dharma. One is listening. And other one is having the conversation, discuss. Kalena Dhamma Savatang, you have to listen to Dharma at the right time, at the necessary environment. Kalena Dhamma Sakaccha, there are certain time period. And you have to practice that, you have to discuss the Dharma. You have to have the conversation. And Kalena Samato, that means, and not only the listening and having conversation, Kalena Samato, you have to develop tranquility state of your mind. And the 4th one, Kalena Vipassana. And then you have to engage with practicing Vipassana, not only the tranquility meditation. So then this Kalena interpreted in many ways. Kalena Dhamma Savanang, the listening the Dharma. Kalena Dhamma Sakaccha, conversation. Kale and Samato, tranquility meditation. Kalena Vipassana. Vipassana meditation. So that this Kalena, it's one thing is, you are engaging with the Dharma. You make time to engage. And at the same time, in conventional life, in a very conventional meaning, if you look, your day, you spend time in different ways. So then you have to find the time. You have to arrange the time to listen to the Dharma. It is not, oh, I know everything, oh, I know how to practice, I know all the things like that. No, the listening is very important. And in the ancient time, that it's called the Sunata. There are three ways: Sunata, Dhareta, Charata. So Sunata, listening; Dhareta, memorizing it, holding it; Charata, and then you follow it and make it action. So when it comes to Sunata, at that time, that the ancient time, people used to listen. And this listening, more than seeing, this listening has more power to connect it to your mind. And when you develop that power of thinking, the listening is one of the beautiful art. So even then the people used to have the records, that they put the knowledge to the books. And when we see, it's like, as you know, the Amazon, they introduced this online selling things. But later now, as you see, they go back to this ordinary level of shopping malls, and they start to have this Amazon, shopping markets. So same like nowadays, more than any other time, if you look, and when you go to the YouTube, you will see these audio books. And the more than any other time, people listening these audio books. It's more than the reading. Of course, reading is very important, but people become more convenient, comfortable with the listening. So see that the ancient time of the method and the knowledge, and then you have more opportunities today to get it. So then you have to understand you are living in a very, very good time period. So of course, when the most difficult things happen, that is the best time to get to find the good things. That's always there. Because when everything happening in a nice way, good way, comfortable way, remember, your laziness, your all the desires, that all other unnecessary interference, that everything happening in our life. But when the difficult situations come, it is all the time, when you look at this entire human civilizations, time to time, how people became better after the worst situations. So like that, during this time period, when you hit this difficult time period and look how that all the good things happening around you. So then you have to be smart to get into the bottom and touch the authentic method and brush up with it. Why? Because as soon as possible, this situation is going to change to something else. So then, rather than depending on the situation, you always have to have the intention to look for the best. And when you look for the best, and it always, if you merge with the authentic way, and then you find more comfort and you find more success. So, Kalena Dhamma Savana. And so at that time, what the Buddha said, there is a time that you have to make, or intensely you have to interfere. You spend time knowingly. So then you have to look in day-to-day life. Spend some time to listen to the Dharma. And the other thing is, when you listen to Dharma, it makes you more open. And that openness develop your seeing ability. Because otherwise, when we hold with one thing, one information, and that one information maybe make us blind. So then, when we go look for the freedom, if you type with the path, how that path can take you to the freedom, because you already bound to the path. So then the Dharma is one thing that always release you, even its own practice. You should not be afraid, you should not be fearful, you not bound to, you not be a prisoner to, you not be a very limited to, you not be kind of like a believer or follower only, that whatever you practice. So that is the main important thing with the Buddha's teaching, because that itself, that if you believe about it and hold about it, it's not going to take you there. So then how about while you're experiencing, can you develop a detachment to your own practice? That is itself, become very difficult, because whatever we practice, whatever we slowly get attached to that. And then that attachment we don't see, sometimes make us blind, disappointed, unhappy. So then, when you interfere, when you engage with listening, when you spend some time with listening, and when you gather some other knowledge regarding the Dharma, that will make you more open, and that openness will help you to practice and go deeper. So when you listen to that, it's always you have to remember that you have to look for the truth, not at someone else's ideas. And look for the truth, and with that intention, when you listen, and you will see, if it is not truth, you're not going to go with it. Kalena Dhamma Sakacha, and then you have to engage with, discuss what you practice. And so that is one thing, that because sometimes our practice makes us so personal, and we caught up in our own mind. And sometimes people say, I practice meditation. If I ask, what to practice? What kind of meditation? Oh, it is my own meditation. And if I ask sometimes, can you explain to me, because then I know what you practice, and they cannot explain. So that's why sometimes that whatever come to your mind and whatever the experience happening with you, then you have to have a conversation with whoever comfortable for you and whoever know about that, and maybe your partner, your husband, wife, or the friends. So any community of Sangha you have to build up with yourself. And when you become more comfortable and when you feel more open to discuss your practice. And that's kind of like giving you more deeper understanding, and it allows you, if it is wrong, if something go wrong, and maybe you cannot see it, maybe other person can see it. And so then you can correct it, because in our mind, with our mental views, once we go wrong, sometimes it is very difficult to find the right path. It's like we lost in the middle of the jungle, and sometimes how about, you lost in the middle of the jungle and you cannot find the way. Sometimes people misunderstand even. And looking at looking at the sun, sometimes they cannot recognize where the east and where the west. That much we get tangled. There are many Jataka stories in the ancient time when people crossed the desert through bull cart. And sometimes looking at the stars, they used to travel, and then they get lost. Rather than going towards the west, and sometimes they go towards the east. See what happened? The journey never going to end. So sometimes like that in the jungle, even when we get lost there, what happening? Thinking that we going to get out of it, we more go into it. So that is what happening when we don't discuss each other that whatever the practice we do. So that is why Kalena Dhamma Sakaccha, that you have to engage with time, you have to interfere with the timing and spend some time to discuss your practice. Kalena Samatu. Not only that both necessary, but at the same time, that is not the important part. So the Kalena Dhamma Savana, you have to develop collective awareness and bring your mind to the one point and stay with the tranquility mind, undisturbed mind. So that is very necessary. Maybe you learn a lot of things. Maybe you discuss a lot of things, but when it comes to practice, you cannot. No, so that also you have to develop. So then when you spend the time, you have to remember to balance in between this practice. Some people only listening, they don't practice. They cannot even sit or close their eyes. They're afraid to even to close their eyes. And even forget about closing the eyes, they cannot even sit 1 minute without moving their body. They feel like that is the end of this everything. They feel so disappointed, miserable. They're always looking that the inside, the desires always want to interfere with its perception. Mind addicted to get disturbed. So that way, this journey you cannot go. So you have to come to undisturbed mind. So then, in the beginning, you engage with listening and you engage with discussing, and then the third one, you engage with tranquility state. That engagement is giving detachment from these other things, and then you develop one pointness, collective awareness. All the thoughts, you bring it to one and stay with it. And little by little, you gain some kind of wisdom than the listening, than the discussing, and you gain some different wisdom. These all parts of the same journey. And then not only that, Kalena Vipassana. You have to, because that once you come to the collective awareness or the tranquility state or the samadhi, you feel so comfortable. You feel so relaxed, and you feel the joy, happiness, satisfaction. And sometimes you don't feel to get out of it. So that is where it's just not only tranquility state and being there. You have to spend the time to see the change. What is the change mean? The change that what you experience. And that will develop the inside knowledge. And that will develop the analytical mind. When you come to that, that is where you understand. This everything change. And you understand how it changed. Because as you know, this entire universe governed by the four elements: heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. All the perception arise out of the heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness, out of the change. And that's why it's called energy. So the very nature of the energy always moving and changing, becoming something, transforming. So then that's whatever the things that when we perceive as perception, it brings the feelings to you. If it doesn't bring any feelings to you, it not belong to your world. See, the world changes itself all the time. And as you know, this entire universe always changing in a journey. So then that whatever from the outside come to you, it come as a result of the change. There is nothing concrete or the solid in this outside world. So then you feel, your feelings come as a result of change. So out of feelings, your awareness arises. If there is no feelings, no awareness. In a very basic example, so when you get into the plane, you think the pilot is the one who maintaining. That is right. The pilot is the one who controlling the plane. So the passenger think the controller is the pilot. So the passenger is kind of like the feelings. Your awareness is kind of like the pilot. So the pilot is there because of the passenger. Just imagine, if there is no any passengers, then no need a pilot. When there is no any passengers, there cannot be a pilot. So the passenger depend from the pilot and the pilot depend from the passenger. So same like from the feelings, the awareness arises. This is the very important place that you have to understand. From the feelings, the awareness arises, and because of the awareness, you recognize the feelings. This itself brings the idea of self. I feel, oh, I am experiencing this. But we don't see this I happening because of the feelings. When there is no feelings, no I. So then if the feelings change, that out of this world, everything change, and then the the perception change, and out of that perception, that the feelings change, and out of that feelings, awareness, it changed moment by in inside meditation. In Vipassana meditation or the analytical meditation, you recognize this method. You don't make up anything. You don't do anything. You see this. Because in the bottom level, this is what happened. Once you're able to see this, and you accept it, and once you accept it, you're not going to interfere with any situation because you know how things happen. And then in that very moment, when you experience that, you get out of the self-centered mind. And once you get out of the self-centered mind, whatever the behavior, whatever the bodily, verbally, mentally action come out of you, you always become very careful to make it more right, make it more correct, make it more profitable. Not for you. It's not, because now you recognize there is no you. You're trying to make it more profitable for sake of other people. Why? Because they don't know what is happening. And then you always come to a point to understand. And naturally you start to perform the right things. That you come with the deeper understanding, seeing the pattern, and then itself, it's not going to be any wrong to you. Why? Because you come to the very epicenter of the natural process. Then out of you, there's nothing can come back to you and make you more difficult. So then whatever come out of you, you always think about others. That is where the compassion arises. And that is where you always merge with the Eightfold Path. And that is where you always come to a place to do things good for you and good for others. It's naturally it become good for you because there's no any self-centered mind, and you have the clear awareness that is the best for you. So with that, when you perform something, it's going to be good for others. So in that level, whatever you experience, and it never going to bring any disappointment, unsatisfaction, it never going to hold you to any reactions. That is where you gain your freedom. So then always remember, when you come to that level, you recognize out of you, there is no two things come at once. One thing come at one time, and there is no two things come. It's a very simple example that, as you know, in YouTube, that in a video, you can make like or thumbs up or thumbs down. So you cannot do this both at once. You have to say you like it or you don't like it. You cannot do this both together. If you put your like, maybe you change it in the next time, and then you dislike it, then what will happen naturally? When you click the dislike, the natural going to disappear. It cannot be there, the both, like, dislike. So like that, you recognize with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, at one time happening only one consciousness, one perception come and keep the connection with it. And at the same time, with your bodily, verbally, mentally action, whatever outcome, whatever you do, that also become only one action. But the system is so fast, and because of that, we don't see this. But when the mind becomes slow and sharp and clear, because your mind is so powerful than this outside. Your mind is so powerful than this material world. Your mind is so powerful than this physical world. So then only thing is when you are interfere with this and you forget and you don't know how to develop that power. Maybe you just get into certain level and you just run with that. It's like the car. Maybe 60 miles per hour. Maybe you never drove your car faster than that. And then maybe you think that is the maximum performance in your car. So same like that, whatever that we get used to this in the world, and what we see, hear, smell, taste, we always interfere, engage with some kind of physical or material things. And because of that interference, you never saw the power of the mind. Another thing is, you always interfere with the thought itself, related to past or the future. Because of that, you never see the power of the mind. So that's why through the tranquility meditation, you develop the undisturbed mind. That undisturbed mind means you develop to get out from the 5 hindrances. All the desires, all the laziness, all the tangles that as mental qualities you hold it your life, in the tranquility mind, you get out that all, make it very clear. So then the mind become itself the mind. And that is where you can see and you can recognize, you can experience, you can be with this very nature of the authentic power of the mind. And when you come to that level, even you come back again to this conventional world and be with this, and then you know, beyond this world, there is something. Then anymore, you're not going to caught up in this conventional world. So that because you always know the way to get into the depth of your mind, depth of your experience. And that is where you find your freedom, your liberation, your transformation. So with that, I bless upon everyone. With this good practice, may all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no difficulties come to you, may no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavata ca ammehi sampadang punya sampadang. Sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. less.